This conference will now be recorded.
Section, flow action, portal. All this we are going to discuss now. Okay, first we will discuss these combinations, and later we will further see connected to harness what are the other things. Okay, even operator ID, all that. Okay, look at here now. First I'll tell you about portal. Okay, first I'll explain about studios. Dev Studio, App Studio, Prediction Studio. Other than this, there is another studio called Admin Studio. There are 4 studios available. These 4 studios they are saying, but these are also portals. These 4 portals will come into this drop down of whatever you see on the left top corner. Launch portal is there, right? Here also you are seeing portal. This is also portal. These are called as studios. This is called as portal, but overall everything is portal. Okay. Now, Dev Studio is the one which will be for development purpose. You can create the rules, you can delete the rules, you can modify the rules, anything you can do. You can create your applications, you can execute your business transactions, create, execute everything you do in the developer studio. Just now go to App Studio. App Studio is also for application development. This was not there in the previous versions. It has been newly added actually. New application was not there in App Studio before, but they have added now 8.7 onwards. You can create application. You cannot create application previous versions, but you create now. Okay, application you can create in App Studio. Similarly, case types and all, you know, right? Case types, data types, okay, operator IDs, all that you can create. Activity I want to create, I cannot create. Data page I want to create, I cannot create. But when you create case type, automatically data pages, all that will be created, right? App Studio is also for application development. App Studio is for the purpose of application development for citizens. For whom? Citizens means users, means end users also can create applications using Pega. Okay, so App Studio is just a simple shortcut of Dev Studio. 10% of Dev Studio, no, 5% of Dev Studio we can do in App Studio. 5% of, only 5%, frankly speaking, not more than that. Create application, create case type, design your transaction model, create data types, all that you can do. But you cannot create activities, database, so many other rules you cannot do. So as a developer, full-fledged, you are going to work on Dev Studio. You may start creating your application, case type, design, data modeling, all that you can do by using App Studio. Then get into Dev Studio and do more. Okay, App Studio is a simplified version of Dev Studio for the easy development of or creation of application, case type and data types. Even operator IDs, all that you can create and manage. Okay, that is just a shortcut way. But App Studio doesn't have even 10% of the features of your Dev Studio. What is our application? SBI. Yeah? And next one is Prediction Studio. Prediction Studio is meant for Pega decisioning and marketing frameworks. It is meant for Pega decisioning and marketing framework. Suppose I wanted to display a credit card offer for a customer when they log into application based on their past performance. This is called your this is a way of marketing. This is a way of marketing. For marketing this, you need some analytics to be done. That is called decisioning. Decisioning and marketing can be done by using Prediction Studio. Will have all the features related to that. You don't need it actually. If you're learning Pega CPDC, then you may deal with Prediction Studio. There is one more studio called Admin Studio. I'll tell you how to get Admin Studio added here later. Okay, but Admin Studio is for the purpose of managing the servers. On the server, there are so many things which I will show you later. Again, I'll tell you about Admin Studio. That time I will show you management. System level management can be done by using Admin Studio. All these are portals: developer portal, prediction portal, app portal, and remaining other portals. We call them as studios. And here you can see launch portal, manager portal. Similar to manager portal, you can have user portal. You can have some other portals even. Okay, these are also portals. What is the portal? First of all, a portal is the overall user interface that gets loaded into your browser. When you log into BRPC or anything you are accessing on BRPC, from this corner of the browser to this corner of the browser, everything, entire screen of Pega, you call it as portal. Everyone clear? When you log into PRPC, for me in this case, by default, which portal is getting loaded? What is the portal getting loaded? App Studio portal is loading. I am switching to Dev Studio. I can launch manager portal also. Where this access is provided, I'll show you later. Okay, so like this, a portal gets loaded when you log into PRPC, one portal. You can have more than one portal. You can have more than one. Remaining portals will be accessible from this menu and this menu. Okay, launch portal menu and all. Those are called secondary portals. Primary portal gets loaded. Just for your information, portal is the entire screen that is being loaded. So now I'll go to portal. I'll show you portal role for your information. What is that? User interface category, portal. Inside portal role, there is something called as harness. What is that? Harness is being called. Inside harness, what will be there? I'll show you. Okay, I'm just trying to give you complete details about the levels like operator ID, portal, inside portal, what is there? Harness is there. I will show you what is the harness. Right click on this, create user interface section. I'm sorry, harness color. Create user interface harness. Okay, I have selected harness and then test, create and open. By default, I am going to get the harness like this. Just get it loaded. What does it says? What does the harness says? Drag section. Means you add section. You design user interface by using only one rule in Pega. In order to design user interface, what is the rule? Always it is section. Section you embed into harness. Harness you embed into portal. Harness you embed into where? Portal. Portal is the one which is loaded. When you log into PRPC, portal loads. Inside portal, harness will be there. Inside harness, what is there? Section is there. Section is the place where you have all UI components. Then why do you need a harness? Look at here. In this case, if you go to harness, you see a layout. What is the layout? Screen layout. This layout you will not see in sections and all. Section have dynamic layout. What is that? Table layout. Hierarchical table layout means table layout inside table layout. Simply speaking. The screen layout properties, if I go, you'll clearly understand what is the purpose of harness. What do you see? See there on the pop-up and guess what is it? Design of screen, overall screen of Pega. See, if you take this content only, entire screen will be one single section inside harness. You take header and work area. What do you call this? Work area. Header, work area. Okay, means your screen when you load this harness, screen looks like header part and work area part. If you take this one, header left panel, what do you call it? Left panel. Header left panel work area. If you take this one, header right panel work area. If you want an appearance like header plus right panel plus work area, you go for this layout format. If you want header plus left panel plus work area, you go for this layout. And what about this one? You tell me. Header, left panel, right panel, work area. And what about this one? This is the ultimate last one. Header, left panel, right panel, bottom panel, work area. You see here, this is the header part. What is that? This portion is header. Header is fixed. What about this portion? Agile workbench, scenario testing, all this. Bottom panel. What about this one, this center one? Work area. Overall, this center, what you see is work area. What about all this one, this portion? Left panel. And what about this one? Right panel. In the Designer Studio, they are using it for live UI. But if you log in with manager, they may use something else. Okay, that everything can be collapsed onto left side, right side. That is possible. Header and footer will be maybe fixed. Left panel, right panel can be collapsed and opened. Okay, work area will be center one. Center panel is called a work area. Which rule is designing all this? Harness rule. That is the purpose of harness. Harness rule defines the appearance of UI forms. Harness rule defines the appearance of UI forms, but ultimate UI components will be there in section. That is common. Ultimate user interface rule is section. Section will not have all this appearance, right? You want appearance for UI, which rule you will go for? Harness. Harness not only defines the appearance of UI, but also it defines processing of the user interface. I'll explain in this processing part later. Harness is a user interface rule. It is a container of section. Harness defines the appearance and processing of the UI forms. Understand, everyone clear? Harness rule will be called inside portal rule. That is one place. There are other places also, I'll show you. High level, overall PRPC level, harness rule is called in portal rule. But you can call on click of a button, you can call a harness. That is also possible. We'll see that going forward. Okay. So you understand, everyone understand, you got the clear idea about what is a harness online resources. This is very, very important. 99% of the people, if I ask you what is the difference between a harness and flow action, harness and flow action, 99% who are working in real time also, they will not be able to say, but you will be able to understand that clearly going forward. But harness standalone, you understand, one of the need of the harness, is to design your forms appearance to have left panel, top panel, right panel, bottom panel, and work area. Understand? And inside harness, what do you place? Section. Look at here. How many sections you can place inside a harness? If you take this, you can place a maximum of how many sections? 2 sections. 1 section in header, 1 section in work area. If you take this one, how many sections? 5 sections. Top, bottom, left, right, and work area. 5. That is the maximum. I want to place 100 sections. How to place? These are the fixed ones. You cannot go for other layout. 100 sections I want to
number section.
You place, that is Vishnu, is too much noise. Please mute. Yes. Go ahead. What is that? Sections, inside sections you place. Ultimately, you make it 5 sections and 5 you place here. Inside 5 you will have so many other sections. There is no other go other than that. Okay. So like this, you would be using the harness rule in one approach. Okay, we'll be seeing going forward how to create harness and all. Everyone clear about harness, basic idea and understanding? Inside harness, you will be putting section. Harness is the content of section. Flow action is also content of section for your information. But anyhow, I'll come to that point. Look at here now. I'm going to create a case. Now. I created a case. Now it has loaded the screen. The screen loaded here, you call it as work object form. What do you call this? See, the entire screen of Pega, you called it as portal. Inside that you have harness only. Inside harness, ultimately section everywhere. But the screen that is loaded as part of making a transaction, you are calling this screen as work. This is a part of work object. This is called a work object form. Okay. See, if I launch manager portal here, what is this screen called as? Portal. This is called a portal. Ultimately, inside portal you have harness. Here at the screen that has been created, okay, from manager portal, can I create a case or not? Why they have removed this option? I will place my own option going. I can create a case there also. Okay, anyhow, see, this is called this entire form from here to here. This is called as work object form. Again, this work object form also has left panel, work area, right panel, header, maybe footer. It is not there actually. It may be. Okay, so footer is also there actually. This is also footer. Now you see, if I make a transaction and then submit this one, which portion of the UI is changing, you need to let me know. Which portion of the work object form is changing, you have to let me know that. The entire portion you have a glance, right? Now you are seeing entire portion, right? And I am going to submit this. Which portion is changing now overall? In the overall
work area.
Only work area is loading. Left panel is fixed, top panel is there, same right panel, same bottom panel. This in between something is changing. This portion is, what is this? Flow action. What is loading? I'm sorry, that is work area. Okay, but means this entire work object form is also one harness. Inside harness, within work area, what is that PRPC loading? flow action is getting loaded. So your flow action is getting loaded into work object form. Part of work object form is flow action, not entire screen. Understand? So that is loading into a harness. I wanted to know what is that harness. How do I know that? I wanted to know exactly what is that harness rule that is loading in my work object form. How do I know that? By using live UI. Go to live UI and here you go. And here you go. What is the name of the harness? PY create. What is the name of the harness? But it is not PY create every time. Look at here. I'll go to case type. What is the first stage of the case type? You remember what is the first stage? Up to create stage for the harnesses of assignments. For this assignment, harness is loading. For this assignment, harness is loading, right? What is the harness loading? PY create. Let's go to transaction details form. Submit this. First one also you'll get PY create. Second one, right? I'll go through live UI. What is the harness name? You can see here. What is the harness name? Perform. What is the harness name? Perform harness gets loaded at every assignment of the flow. Every assignment. See, in the vehicle insurance, for every assignment, the harness that gets loaded is perform harness. Only for the first stage related flows, the harness that is getting loaded is PY create. But PY create is a copy of perform harness. There is no difference. Did you find any difference in the screens? Did you find anything? PY create flow action is loading. Perform harness, PY create was not there. It was not there before Pega 8.5. 8.5 you are working, it is there. 8.4 you are working, PY create. Everything is perform harness only. So there are some one features they have added of creating work object and all. You can ignore that. That's not a big deal actually. But coming to starting from 8.5, 8.86, 8.7, you can remember always when an assignment gets created, the harness that loads is perform harness, no doubt about it. Starting from 8.5, only for the first create stage. Stage name itself is create, right? For the assignments, what is the harness that is getting loaded? PY create. PY create is equal to copy of perform. There is no doubt about it. But there is some little bit of change. Leave it. That is not required now. Okay. So whenever a transaction is being made, at every assignment, PRPC loads a harness rule. What is that harness rule? Perform harness. So perform harness is part of your transaction model. Perform harness is responsible for loading the flow action. Perform harness is responsible for what? Loading flow action at the assignment. That is the purpose of perform harness. Even PY create also loading. Okay, this is perform harness, you know that. Now, what about this one? Change stage. I will go to the last stage. I'll go to the last stage. Remaining all assignments you will see perform harness only. I'll go to the last stage. Did I create? Oh my God, attachments is missing. Huh? I have made it as a local action, right? Did I make the local action as attachment? I did not do that. One stage. Okay. Now in this case, you need to make attachment screen is there, right? Create it as a local action. Call it on case type, so that anytime if you at the end if you are missing, you can attach it. I'll do it otherwise. Hold on, because anyhow I need it in future, right? Just give me a minute. You also have to implement the same. Open the case type. So because at the last screen you cannot come back to attachment screen, that is not possible. So better what you do, attachments flow action. I would have done this previously. The attachments, where is it? Collect documents. This one I have added as a local action for entire case type. Now at the last assignment, even if I'm missing, I will be able to access. I'll show you just for your information. Today overall class, everything is explanation only about harness. Just closely focus here. And now I'll go to the last screen, change stage, case close, and submit. It will not proceed because you are missing with the attachments required. So here you have attachments. you are not able to do this before. After I add it, I am able to do it. I will attach the documents. Yes. Select files, downloads, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 documents I have attached. I think 4 mandatory are there, right? Driving license is mandatory, ID proof is mandatory, RC is mandatory, pollution check is mandatory. Remaining 2 are optional. Okay, I have attached and submitted, and now it will go to last screen. Case close. This is okay. I think we did not perform right in between, so it is not going anyhow. I'll change the screen from first one to last one. When I change it to last one, now it will be submitted because I have attached documents. Okay, it is submitted. You remember, I did not design this screen. Last case closed, some screen is displaying. Did we call any flow action here? This is also on harness. This is also on harness. You are designing only flow actions. You are not designing work object forms. Work object forms are being provided by Pega. Now you go to live UI and see what is this harness. What is the name of the harness? Confirm. Can I customize this harness to display something? Is it possible or not? We will be customizing this to display entire case information. To display, did we create any section to display entire case information so far? We'll create one and we will call it here entire case information. At the end will be displayed to users. They can see it. Okay, like this, how many harnesses we have come across in the transaction life cycle so far? I'll open the harness document. Hold on.
3.
What is that? Harsha. 3 harnesses so far. What are those? PY, create, perform harness,
Confirm
harness, right? I'll talk about 2 other harnesses. Wait. What is that? Theory documents, harness concept, right? This is the harness document. And here you go now. Here complete details are being given. Okay, new perform confirm review. Okay, I'll add a note. Starting from Pega 8.5, we have a new harness, new and Raigood ikkada, a latest harness got introduced. What is the name?
PY create.
PY create. For the assignments that gets loaded at create stage. Create stage, the flow action gets loaded into PY create harness. Remaining all stages for the assignments, the flow action gets loaded into which harness? Perform harness. This is the additional point. Okay, this is the additional point. Every one of you clear? PY create correct? Correct. Okay, so this is what happening with the change from 8.5 on. Now look at here. See, confirm harness is the one which is displayed at the end of the transaction when there is no assignment to perform. When you don't have any assignment to perform, then what is the harness that gets loaded? Perform harness gets loaded. When there is no assignment to perform, then confirm harness will get loaded. When there is no assignment to perform, which harness gets loaded? Confirm harness is going to get loaded. Okay, that is one more point. And there is another type of harness. Look at here. I will make one more transaction. Okay, actions. They are not providing here. I don't know why Pega. I think there are so many mistakes in 8.7 version. I mean, like so many needs that have not been fulfilled. Anyway, you see review. You don't say review, right? Here I can call review harness actually. Actually, here you can call review harness in this menu. Clicking on review, it will open a read-only screen. What is the meaning of review? Review means I'll show you review screen if you want to see. I can show you the other way around. I have closed it, right? And
Just
now
view
I'm
the
going to
data for
reset.
approval.
I'm opening this transaction again. Close this. 35. I'm sorry. 35 I opened. Now I have opened the work object 1235, correct? Work object has been opened. Is it perform harness? Is it confirm harness? It is not perform harness. It is not perform harness. You will get when you click on go. Let's go to live UI and see this. What is this harness? When you open the work object, it is opened in review harness. You proceed to click on go. Somewhere in between you stopped. Okay, you close it to the browser. Later you come back and you find the work object, you opened it. Which harness it will be opened? Review. Review harness you can customize. Now it is perform harness when I click on go. So how many harnesses we had come across?
4.
Create, perform,
Perform,
confirm, review.
Confirm.
Whenever you wanted to just see the details of a transaction that is been done so far, you will go for review harness. Whenever you wanted to display entire work object data at the end of the work object after it is resolved, then which harness? Confirm harness. And whenever you wanted to perform something, perform harness or create harness in between. Now look at here. I'll open this flow, first flow, right? I'll go to start shape. Anyway, I'm just trying to find out if there are options provided, or I'll go to process tab and show you. No. Process tab. No, nothing is provided. Okay. Okay, fine. See here, this is the perform harness. Where is this harness rules called? Your review harness or your create harness, anything.
Not able to hear you, Harsha, properly. And just
Yeah,
seeing
I
the
think
user details flow.
you're breaking, I think.
Create.
So your
Okay.
voice is
This
not
is the
audible.
first stage. See, first let's talk about PY create harness. Okay, related flow, right? Double click on the assignment shape. Harness, use create harness. PY will internally call PY shape of first second stage. You go to second stage onwards, flows. Here also you'll see use case type policy. But here the harness loads I have already practically shown you. What is the harness that gets loaded? In this case, PY, in this case, assignment details use case type policy means perform harness. Previously, it used to be perform harness by default called here, but now they are making the option as case type policy and they are taking the harness name runtime dynamically. We don't need to see the internal design where it is taking from. But
Harsha, we lost
harness
the
rule,
middle
perform harness
again.
is called on. Okay, I am trying to tell you where the perform harness rule is being called. Perform harness rule is being called on assignment shape of the flow. Similarly, PY create harness rule is being called on assignment shape of the flow for only the flows of first stage. Understand, everyone clear? All of you online. Perform harness is being called on assignment shape. That means PY create also called on assignment. PY create is for first stage related assignments. Perform harness is for remaining all assignments throughout all the stages. Understand, everyone clear? This is the place where it is being called. So far how many harnesses we have come across? Create, perform, review, confirm. Out of these 4, perform harness and create harness are editable harnesses. Means you are doing something. What about confirm harness? What is your guess? Confirm harness.
Read only.
What
Read
is the
only.
purpose of confirm harness? I'll tell you. Create harness and perform harness loads flow action with buttons. Confirm harness loads a confirmation screen at the end of the transaction just to display confirmation details. Read only or editable?
Read only.
Read only. Review harness you can access anytime just to review the information. By default, Pega is giving blank review harness with go button. You can customize it to add the information done so far. Anytime you can add some harness with read only just to review the information, then that is review harness is also read only. Review and confirm are read only. Perform and create
PY
are
create.
editable harnesses. 4 harnesses done. There is a 5th harness which you are aware of already. Okay, I will show you. See here, That is not available with case type now, but it is available with flows. It is available with flows. You remember at the very beginning of our sessions, while we are learning about work object, transaction, creating a flow, we went to process tab. We have chosen, let me private edit this, PY case management default. I am removing this and I'm just keeping back PY default, I mean like default. Save this, run this. You will be getting some unwanted screen that we had discussed, right? Run this. This is the unwanted screen we have discussed. This is a harness. What is this harness? What is the name of the harness? I'm sorry, it got opened. What is the name of the harness? NEW. This is why I did not write the sentence while typing. I did not type new because new is there with the name harness name. Okay, so new harness gets displayed at the very beginning of the transaction. Usually previous versions. Now Pega is not providing this harness. Okay, new harness is responsible. Why I am teaching all this even though now it is not available? Whenever you are appearing for interviews, you should not say you have worked on 8.7 only. You might have worked on previous versions because you are going to show experienced people, right? Experience and all you show. Previous versions also you would have worked on. You should know about new harness. So new harness is responsible for creating work object. How? The moment you click on create button, it runs OOTB activities which are responsible for creating work object. It runs OOTB activities which are responsible for creating work object. It runs in the background. Now work object is created. When new harness is displayed, work object is not created, not yet been created. Look at here. See, I'm going to run the flow once again. New harness will get displayed. I'll go to clipboard and I will see work object ID is there or not there on PY work page. Don't bother about error messages. PY ID is not there. PY ID is not there. But PY work ID prefix is there set to C dash. Can you tell me in which rule PY work ID prefix has been set to C dash? What is the rule in which this PY work ID prefix value has been set?
Case type settings tab.
Case type lo kaadu. Case type lo C dash ekkada set chesలేదు. Case type settings tab lo ఉన్నది an image. Case type settings tab PY default data transform. In PY default data transform, this property value has been set, which we have practically done. చేసామా లేదా? Save as for modifying the work object ID and all. For flow we did not do. At the time of case type, I think sometime we have done it. Did we do this or not? We did not discuss about PY default data transform.
We discussed about PY default, but I think we didn't change the prefix of the work object.
We didn't change case ID, but did we discuss about PY default data transform?
Yeah.
I think I missed it. Okay, I'll tell you anyhow, no problem. After this harness topic is completed, I'll tell you anyhow. See, work ID prefix is been set, that you can see in the clipboard. That is been set for your information. That is been set from PY default data transform. That is been set from PY default data transform. Okay, and now by the time new harness gets displayed, work object ID is not created. Only prefix value has been set. ID generation will happen the moment you click on create. ID will get generated. This prefix will be appended, prepended. Prefix plus ID, generated ID overall will be work object ID. Then what is the purpose of new harness? Why Pega provided this? Before the ID, work object ID gets created itself, Pega is providing some screen. How you can make use of it? At the very beginning of the transaction, Pega is providing one screen. Guess what is the purpose that we could make use of it? Different purposes you can tell me. This is editable for your information. This harness is editable for your information. Think about editable, read only both ways and tell me how I can make use of a screen which gets displayed at the very beginning of transaction, which is optional. You want display, you display, otherwise you don't display. Okay, that is up to you. Tell me how you can make use of it.
Welcome screen of any application.
Display as a welcome screen of applications. Transaction. Display as a welcome screen of transaction where you write some details about what has to be done further. That is one approach. You can make use of it like that. Second one. Any other thing? This is insurance policy processing, right? Executing a flow means you are initiating the policy processing transaction. When you initiate, before the transaction ID generates itself, on screen created. You told that you will make use of it as a welcome screen. That is one purpose you can make use of it. There is nothing wrong. Other than that, anything else you can make use of it. Think about anything else. Login pega untadi.
Maybe can we switch into a different user?
Make a transaction this screen. Yes, go ahead.
Maybe can we switch to different user from the screen?
No. Switching user will not be done from this. Switching user is different. This is a transaction screen. Is it part of transaction or not? It is part of transaction after you log in and make the transaction.
Like authorization screen, like whether user is exact user to perform the transaction.
Adi login screen only. I am repeating once again, this is after login. When you make a transaction, beginning a transaction. Suppose a customer has come to you for insurance policy. Okay, he has submitted all the data. You logged into system and you started initiating the transaction. You initiated. So straight away, are you going to create a new customer account, like collecting customer details, address details, all that? Or before that, do you need to verify anything else? Verify what?
Validate.
Validate what?
Verify
New user
agents
or existing
authentication.
ఇంకోసారి authentication అని చెప్పొద్దు నాకు.
Verify
we will be doing what?
We'll verify whether it's a new user or a existing user.
User verify చేసేదేనండి. You are not understanding the project subject. User, what do you mean by user in this case? Is it a login person into application or something else?
Not user, like let's say it's a insurance application, right? So the
Yes,
agent is a user, but agent is the
Yes.
user, but is entering the details of the customer, right? So there,
Customer, correct.
like, yeah. So new
Yes.
customer or
That is
existing.
That is custom. If you wanted to create one insurance policy, blindly we will not create policy collecting, entering all the data. Before you create insurance policy for a customer, you find the existence of the customer. Already customer is there in your system. You don't need to collect customer data, address data and all. Customer is already there or not. So suppose if you apply for a bank account, they will not straight away create your bank account. There will be a screen. They will take your details of phone number, PAN card number and few other parameters. Any one of the parameters matching in their database, what does it mean? You are an existing customer. For that type of search process, you can make use of it before you proceed forward in the transaction. If customer is already available, next customer details screen, address details screen, you don't need to load data. You will pull it and place it on clipboard. You directly straight away go to transaction screen. Customer is not available after you search. Then what should be done? Then create. Anyhow, you will proceed in both ways. Create. You will design in such a way that to go to customer screen or to directly go to transaction screen. Understand? That's how you can make use of this screen. It is not only this one, the other way around. Just to collect some data also you can do. Just to validate some data also before proceeding forward, some validation purpose, some collecting data. Suppose before I create a transaction, it is a need always that I need to enter some ID here and load some data from external system. After loading from external system, it should proceed forward to create a case. That also you can implement here. So new harness is provided for all this purpose. Understand? At the very beginning of the transaction, authentication authorization will be done in the Pega login, not after the initiation of the transaction. This screen will be used by someone who is authorized, okay, for creating some policies, bank accounts, like that. Okay, so total how many harnesses we have? 5 we come across, one additional from 8.5. So new, create, perform, confirm, review. New harness is the beginning of the transaction screen, which may be used to collect the details, to perform a search, to use as a welcome screen with some instructions. Create and perform harness gets loaded at the assignments. For the first stage assignments, create harness. For remaining stages, all assignments, perform harness. And confirm harness will get loaded at the end of the transaction, which is read only harness. Review harness, anytime you can access actually with read-only information to review the data. Okay, these are all the purpose. See, in any business application, you will get a purpose of reviewing the data. Okay, you will get a purpose of entering the data. You will get a purpose of searching the data at the very beginning. You will get a purpose of displaying a confirmation message at the end. Considering all these facts, Pega has provided all these screens for us. Okay, in the name of harnesses. So now, what is the purpose of each of these harness? We already discussed. Create and perform harness are responsible for loading the flow action. If you want the flow action to be loaded in the assignment, you need either create harness or perform harness. This point everyone clear? Now what is the purpose of confirm harness? Display the entire transaction data at the end, you need confirm harness. Review harness, anytime you wanted to review some information that is in the ongoing transaction, you can review it. And from there you proceed forward to do something. And new harness purpose is, I told you, collecting the data. Apart from this, new harness is responsible for creating work object. Responsible for creating, whether you display new harness or you don't display new harness, in both cases work object is creating. But specifically when you display, on click of create, work object will be created. When you are ignoring the display by selecting PY case management default, the create action is done automatically. Create action is done automatically. In either of the cases, work object is getting created by executing OOTB activities internally. We should know the names of all of those activities. I wanted to know now, what are the activities running in the background that are creating work object? How can I know as a developer? By using Tracer. Live UI will not help always, I told you. It may help, but not always. Settings. So these activities that are running, which are responsible for creating work object, those activities are my application activities or OOTB activities. OOTB activities will be there in OOTB rule sets. I want to trace OOTB rule set activities. I need to select OOTB rule sets. I don't know in which OOTB rule sets that activities are available. So I selected all. Save, clear this so far, and click on create. On click of create, it should be running some activities. Pass this. Pass this here. That's it. Fair enough. Scroll down. Work object. Work object means related to work. So where the tracer has started with work class. See that. It is started here. There is an activity that is called. What is the name of the activity? Add. What is the name of the activity? Add. So what is the main activity that is responsible for creating work object is add. What is the activity? Add. Add is the activity in OOTB activity which is responsible for creating work object. This is not the only activity. This activity will call some other activities. The important activities in the chain we need to know. Every developer, Pega developer should know about all these rules. That's why I'm teaching. I'm not teaching so simply. Okay, all this without teaching also I can proceed forward to finish your business requirements. Okay, but add activity calls another activity. What is that? Add work. Add work activity calls another activity. By looking at the name of that other activity, you should be able to easily guess and say what is it all about. The activity name is add work. Add work activity name is generate ID. You guess and tell me what is this activity. What does this generate ID activity do?
Will generate work object ID.
See, మీరు work object ID అంటే ఏంటో తెలుసా మీకు? C-123 is work object ID. ఇదేమి work object ID మొత్తం ఆల్రెడీ నేను చూపించా. I have already shown you. Work prefix is already been set. Generate ID will generate what? The sequential numeric number based on the prefix will be generated. After that, concatenated. Both will be concatenated. Generate ID is responsible for generating the prefix. Generating the sequential numeric number based on the prefix. It has generated. Finally, it will append both together. Okay. So add work, generate ID. Finally, save new. Save is for what purpose? Saving. And finally, you look at this work commit. Guess what? It will finally perform a commit into the work table. Work object created, stored, committed. So there are 5 activities main activities, those are responsible, or those are the activities participate in creating work object. What are the activities that are responsible for creating work object? Add, generate ID, save, and work commit. These are the activities. So every developer should be aware of these activities. Before add, there is one more activity. Your flow is executed, right? For executing the flow also, one OOTP activity runs in the background. That is new, N-E-W. So that means actual starting point is new. New, add, adverb, generate ID, save, work commit. These are the OOTP activities that are responsible for creating work object. These activities gets executed at which harness level? New harness level. These activities are going to get executed at new harness. New harness means you need to remember two things. One is it is responsible for collecting some data. It is responsible for displaying some welcome information, or it may be responsible to perform some search operations, interacting with something else. It is also mainly responsible for creating new work object. Understand everyone clear? Online resources. Everyone clear? This task of new harness is being done by PRPC create harness when you come with case types. When you come with case types, are you getting new harness displayed? Do you have any new harness that is getting displayed when you deal with case types? And there used to be one option. Okay, the option is there, but I don't know why it is still there. But anyhow, I think it is create harness that is doing. I'll do little more research on that and explain you further. So new harness, you understand new harness, everyone? New harness is over. Next, we need to know about perform harness. Confirm review, no need to discuss much. That is very simple. Okay. So you tell me perform harness, we already discussed. What is the purpose of perform harness? Perform harness is responsible for displaying or loading. You need to know the design as a developer. Where does this flow action and buttons also, right? Submit, save, cancel. How these buttons, where are these coming from? What is the design? How flow action is getting loaded, buttons are getting loaded? Because there are some customizations needed. You need to know about which sections you have to touch. First, let me tell you, I'm making a transaction. Perform or create, you can go to any of these, that will be okay. Okay, this is the perform harness. Let's say I wanted to know where this flow action is getting loaded into. Live UI, and here you go, and you see here flow action. Flow action is loading into a section. You see on the right side, everyone seeing that flow action is getting loaded into a section. This section was name is not there. What is it? Non-auto generated. Non-auto generated section. I'll tell you what is non-auto generated section. Section, everything we created so far is auto generated. Auto generated means you drag and drop the controls, HTML will be generated. Okay. Non-auto generated means HTML code is written inside the section. How? Look at here. Just I'm going to okay, non-auto generated, right? This is okay. After this, at the level high, py case action area is there. See, the moment I choose py case action area is one OOTP section which is covering the portion of UI. Can you guess? Can you tell me what is the portion that has been covered overall? py case action area. Internal to it, loading flow action plus what else? Buttons. Flow action plus buttons together loading into one OOTP section. What is that OOTP section? py case action area. py case action area is loading into perform harness. Leave about create perform harness. Understand? So when work object reaches an assignment, perform harness loads. Inside perform harness, what is loading? py case action area. Inside py case action area, two are loading. What are those? Flow action plus buttons. But flow action is specifically loading into non-auto generated section which will have HTML content. I'll show you. Okay. So I will go to py case action area. Where is it? py case action area. Open this. The diagrams will be there in the document. You can see that. I'll show you the diagram if you want. If not in this, I'll give you another document of harness. Just hold on. harness 2. Otherwise, I'll include that diagram if it is not present. See here, this one, right? Maximize this. This is the diagram. You can see here PY case action area, outer one. Inside that, 2 sections are loading. One section responsible for loading flow action, another section responsible for loading buttons. This PY case action area entirely will be there in perform harness. It will be there in, you remember only perform harness. Create a harness, you don't need to remember. Just keep it in mind at one place in the corner. That is fair enough. Okay. So when work object reaches an assignment shape, Pega loads which harness? Perform harness. Inside perform harness, mainly PY case action area. Inside PY case action area, 2 sections getting loaded. One section is non-auto generated, which is responsible for loading flow action. Another section is normal section, which has buttons. I'll show you non-auto generated first. Non-auto generated section name is flow action HTML underscore simple. This is the meaning of non-auto generated. Non-auto generated, you go to HTML tab, auto generated HTML is unchecked. By default, every section you create, it will be selected. Select it, go to design tab. You have options to add layouts and all. Now you come back it, uncheck it. Let me refresh this. It will come back to the original state. It is not selected now, right? HTML code is written. Go to design tab. Anything is there? This is called non-auto generated. Non-auto generated means you write your own HTML. Auto generated means Pega generated HTML. For that, you will drag and drop all that. You will never get a requirement to do this. But why it is non-auto generated by Pega, I'll tell you. So for every assignment, perform harness loads. In every assignment, same perform harness means same PY case action area means same flow action HTML underscore simple will load. But is the flow action same or different? Flow action is different. Perform harness, flow action HTML underscore simple section is same. When work object reaches an assignment, this section will load into perform harness. This section is responsible for loading your flow action at runtime. What is that? It is loading your flow action and related section inside that. It will load dynamically. Your flow action will load dynamically into perform harness. By using which section? Flow action HTML underscore simple section. Everyone clear? Next, buttons are loading by another section. What was that section? Buttons are loading by another section. PY case action area buttons. What is the name of the section? PY case action area buttons. Let me open the diagrams. Perform harness diagram. Okay. So look at here. Assignment gets loaded. Inside assignment, what is loading? Perform harness. Inside perform harness, what is the section loading? PY case action area. Inside PY case action area, 2 sections are loading. One is flow action HTML underscore simple. Another one is PY case action area buttons. Here buttons will get loaded. Inside flow action HTML underscore simple, your assignment related flow action is getting loaded. Understand everyone clear? This is how your flow action is getting loaded into UI when you make a transaction. As a developer, one should know about all of these details. That's why we are trying to understand the design of Pega rules process commander for the user interface. So we started discussing about harness. Whenever your Pega PRPC entire screen is loaded, that screen is portal. Inside portal, harness loaded. For entire Pega platform UI, it is harness. For individual transaction level UI also, harness. Harness is everywhere. Harness is everywhere. Understand? Portal, harness, sections. That is overall screen. Coming to transaction screen, that is called a work object form, harness, flow action, section. Everyone clear? I'll tell you difference between harness and flow action tomorrow, I mean Monday, once again. Okay. So now, in order to understand the predefined features of Pega, I mean like the internal design of Pega, we were looking at the entire transaction model and the respective OOTV harnesses provided by Pega. So if you leave about create harness, how many harnesses are there other than that? 4. What are those? New, perform, confirm, review. New and perform are editable harnesses. Confirm, review are read-only harnesses in the transaction life cycle. Review harness you can access anytime you want, which is for review of the work object data certain details. Manager may review or someone may review, which is the read only. Confirm harness gets loaded at the end of the transaction, which we can customize to display entire work object data as a confirmation to the end users. That is also read only. New harness gets loaded at the very beginning of the transaction, using which a work object will get created. So the activities that are responsible for creating work object are new, add work, generate ID, save, and work commit. These are the OOTP activities. New harness, you can use it as a search screen or welcome screen of a transaction, not PRPC. PRPC screen is login screen. Okay, this may be PRPC login or SSO login. SSO you don't know, leave it. And now perform harness is mainly responsible for what? Loading the flow action plus buttons. How a flow action plus buttons are loading into perform harness. When work object reaches assignment, perform harness gets loaded. Inside perform harness, PY case action area. Inside PY case action area, flow action HTML underscore simple, which is responsible for loading the flow action, and PY case action area buttons, which is responsible for loading buttons of submit, save, cancel. This is the OOTP design of Pega. Everyone should know as a developer. They may or may not ask questions about all this. 90% of the Pega developers, they don't know this. So no problem. Okay. All the buttons will load from this one only. Not only submit, save, cancel. In future, we'll see continue, back, finish. Those buttons also from same visibility conditions will be there. Okay. We'll come across with this one once again. So we will discuss about harness further. You understand what is harness purpose? Harness defines the appearance of UI forms as well as processing of the work object forms. Why processing of the work object forms? On click of submit, processing is being done by perform harness only. Understand? On click of back, on click of next, on click of create. Create is a processing task of creating work object. Submit is a processing task of performing an assignment to move forward. Back is the processing task of coming back. All these are getting loaded into harness only. That's why harness not only defines the appearance of the work object forms or other application forms, but also processing of the work object forms or any other form. Processing also is being defined by harness rule. Everyone clear? Online resources. Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Today's class is the ultimate session which you never even realize when you are working in enterprise application development. This one, DeferQ class. You remember DeferQ class? Many people, they don't know what is DeferQ. Okay, but is it necessary to learn all of these things when we are not touching frequently? Yes, it is necessary. If I ask you any customizations, you should be able to do it. To do that customization, you at least need to know about the internal design. If I ask you submit button should be displayed, so submit button should not be displayed for all flow actions. What do you need to do? Go to flow action of each one and hide. But I did not ask you all buttons for your information. I asked you only submit button, not all buttons. Hide default action section buttons will hide everything. I want only submit button to be hidden. Where do you need to make the change? You need to come to PY case action area buttons based on the condition Pega has, I mean, like your business has given, you need to appropriate button, you need to find out, add visibility conditions over there. That time it will be useful. Only cancel button you will hide, you want to hide. Then you need to customize here. Customization in flow action will hide everything. Okay, that's how it is very, very important. The session, motivation session means I do want to conduct in a way that I would like to send out to you a form where I want to address your questions. Based on that, I wanted to give you the information or the motivation, whatever you call it, because the topics which I wanted to deliver may or may not be interesting for you. See, if you are expecting for a motivation session means there might be some points where you are lagging, right? People, right? Definitely you might be lagging somewhere. You need a motivation about this to know. Let's say you might be asking question. I thought of waking up at morning 4:30 every day just to do something, but every day I thought of doing the same before I sleep, but that is not happening. Okay, so now how do I get motivated myself? such that I can wake up at 4:30 definitely without fail. Okay, this type of question if you ask, for that I will tell you the details about what you need to do in order to make sure yourself you will get rid of that, what do you call it, little bit of laziness, right? You get rid of it and you get motivated, definitely you will wake up. This is one question. You may ask me another question, like you might have so many questions in your mind, right? Like this, if you could draft it and send it to me on the topics I will focus and cover. It's not that whatever I wanted to tell I'll be telling that 1.5 hours or 2 hours. That will be a better presentation. That's what I felt after I conducted the last time motivation session. It's not that I am going to tell you the topics that I am aware of or that I wanted to tell you, but you can, whoever wanted to participate, if you have something to ask me about this, you please guide us, something like that, then I could take it away from there. Okay, that will be that whatever you are looking for, that will be a takeaway for you. Okay, that will be good. So that's how you can send me the topic. Where would you send it? Okay, I'll do one thing. I will open, but I will not be conducting tomorrow. I'll be conducting next week anyhow. This is not a good notice, one day before itself. Next Saturday we can conduct. Okay, but I request you to draft it, what you are looking for. Okay, మీరు తెలుగులో రాసి పంపించినా పర్లేదు. Okay, but you send it to me. Hindi I can't understand. Okay, you write in English. Some people from AP or Telangana, you don't know how to express yourself in that. You write in Telugu, I can read and understand. Okay, and yes, that is what, how to manage the time you wanted to check with me. Just write down that I wanted to know about how to manage the time. I already made a video, but still I'll take it. This is one topic and other one. Whatever that is needed for you, you write down. You don't write down so many things that are not required. Okay, but all together I think we'll get it to 15 to 20 topics, I believe. Maybe whatever that is possible, we'll cover it, and next week we'll take it forward. Next week we'll take it forward like that. Understand? So where do you write that? I am going to open this 594 or 5 online classroom group is there, right? I will open that group now. Okay, draft everything today itself, but tomorrow I'll close the group. Whatever the topics that I get, everyone will come to know, right? If you are interested, other people also can attend that session. Okay, and I'll notify you next Saturday morning time we'll attend, not 9 o'clock. We have to attend probably 8 o'clock. Okay, either online or both, the same way we will conduct, online plus classroom, and you attend during that. Okay, 8 o'clock to 9:30 would be better probably, instead of 9 to 10. Time management and some of the other things, like whatever I have told, you can type it and send it to me. I'll just open the group now and finish now itself if you have something to ask me. Okay, just give me a moment.
On harness, I have a question.
Yes, what is the question on harness? Go ahead.
So initially I thought I mean, like when you started new harness, right, like I thought it's obsolete. So I understood it's still we are using it, right? Because we are using all these new add work save. So all is still like needed for work object creation. And so also I understood like it's editable, right? Editable harness.
Which one? New harness.
New harness.
Every harness, okay, new harness is editable. See, you understand what is the meaning of editable? It's not that we will customize it. Not in that one. Editable harness means you perform something on that, you enter data and all. Confirm harness, you don't do that. Review harness, you don't do entry, data entry and all. That is the meaning of editable there. Just go ahead.
Like that's what I just want to get the confirmation from you.
See, you can customize all of these harnesses. Customizing doesn't mean editable. Customize means go to live UI, save as the harness into your class, you place some other sections than what is there. That is not editable sense. Editable means do some data entry into the harness. That is not possible in confirm harness. You put any section, by default it will come read only. Review harness, you put any section, it will come read only. New harness, you put a section, you make it read only, it will be read only, otherwise it will be editable. Perform harness, you place a section, you make it read only, then it will be read only, otherwise it is editable. At the time while you are calling a harness rule anywhere, you will find the option of You want to display it as a read only or editable. If you choose read only, I'll show you that option also practically. That will become a review harness. If you choose editable, that will become normal harness. 595.
Sir, what is the difference between review and confirm, sir? Because both are used to displaying the case in read-only format.
Come again. What is that?
Difference between
again.
confirm and harness.
Confirm harness. See, you are purchasing a product in Amazon. After purchase is done, you want to display all the data, product information, what is the quantity, what is the price, what is the shipping address, and tracking link. Where would you display this? In between the case or at the end of the case? At the end of the purchase, right? That is confirm harness. So suppose you have done something in the transaction is in between. So far whatever is been submitted, I want it to send for a quality review team. Quality review team, what does they do? They will review for correctness of all the details meeting the criteria or not. Are they going to make any changes? If something is missing, they'll send it back. But they wanted to see the information to review. They'll not perform anything. They review. Is it end of the transaction they review or in between? In between they review. That is what reviewing means. I have given you an assignment. You do your assignment, you submit it to me. But your assignment is not completed unless I review and say it is over. Correct? So you finish your task and you submit it. I'll review. Anything wrong, I'll send it back to you. You'll open the assignment again and you work on it. Suppose you said I finished everything, there is nothing to review, then that will be the confirm harness. Okay. As per the business, Pega has designed all this. Okay. For everything, you can take Amazon transaction, you'll understand very well, and you can even take leave request application like that. Pega batch 595 online. Group settings, all participants. Okay. I have opened classroom group and online group. Those whoever wanted to participate, and if you're looking for some topic that you wanted to get the information on, you go through it. You just type it right away. I'll close the group maybe by evening today. When would be split for each subflow covered? It will take time. That is been covered for the previous batch today. Today we worked on split for each business requirement for batch started 1 month before you. Means from here you would be maybe after 20 days you'll get that split for each. Split for each document send చేశాను. మీకు పంపించానా? By mistake I sent it or what? So I sent split for each and all the documents in that mail are only split for each additional one. Okay, maybe by mistake I have attached it. Yes, by mistake I have attached for you as well along with other batch. Okay. Fine, you can wind up for today. I'll be sending.
Sure, I have one question about PY harness. What is the difference between PY harness and new harness? Are those same time they will come on work?
PY create harness you are asking? PY create harness?
Yeah, PY harness.
What is PY? There is no PY harness. PY create harness.
Yeah, when you're
is there any
okay.
This one?
Yeah, PY create.
I've shown you some time back. PY create harness.
So
yes,
PY create harness is same as PY harness?
PY create harness. First you tell me, where did you see that PY harness? Where did you see that PY harness? No, I'm asking a question. Where is the PY harness that you are referring to? What is that PY harness? Where did you come across?
Yeah, PY harness. Harsha, are you able to hear me?
I am able to hear you clearly. I am asking a question. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
You said
yes,
PY harness, right?
Can
you show me? Can you show me where is that PY harness? I don't know what is PY harness. Can you show me what is the PY harness? Then I can tell you.
Actually, when you explained last time about the parameters, there you told us like PY harness
PY
and
display
PY
harness.
workpage.
You're talking about PY display
Oh,
harness, primary page concept.
yeah.
That is not PY harness. PY display harness, that is a different one. That is for entire portal. That is primary page name. Page name, that is. PY display harness is primary page name of portal. Portal loads on a page called PY display harness.
Okay.
Is that what you are referring to?
Yeah.
That is not harness, that is the page, primary page name. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll send you documents.